how to set up the business, how to do the necessary marketing, how to get the leads in, how to build it. And that's the thing. For instance, if you do an event, you have to understand the impact of your advertising in a certain area. You have to understand the impact of pictures on the people who might buy. Often it is not the funnel system that's broken. It's often the situation that people do not understand, but funnel by itself is not all. You have to drive people, you drive your audience towards your funnel. If the people are not going anywhere nearer, why should they go in your funnel? And you can give it different names. It doesn't matter. If you don't invest in advertising and promotion, nobody will know it. Even I have to promote my business. I promote my services. I promote what I'm doing here, what I'm doing there. You have to promote, but the right way. You have to get the people engaged to move towards being willing to talk with you and willing eventually to buy your product. Get them to sign, get them to close. So you have to move them. Why should I move them? I want to move them so that they actually buy the services I'm offering. Why should they? Is there any benefit? I have to have these things in order to have my clients to be willing to buy. And that's why we need a funnel. We need a sort of combination between what we are doing and what the client is expecting. If we don't understand how people view their website, how they see the landing page, how they interact with the emails, with the chatbots, and all different stuff you can set up, you can do a huge complicated funnel. You have the easiest and simplest shop, web shop, or anything, you can do it all. But if you have no way to actually get the leads in, to go and get them to maybe book an appointment, how do you want to get them to buy? How? Let's say we want to move forward. We want to get them to go into the funnel. So we advertise. Okay, we promote. We put an advertisement in Facebook. We go and post and different things. We maybe put videos in or anything like that. People will need a certain amount of touch points. As I explained in one of my other videos, you have to expect that you will need up to 7 to 21 touch points before they are willing to buy. And these touch points can be even different advertising, the same advertising, different videos and so on. People often go and switch off the advertising. They think it doesn't work because at the moment nothing is happening, and they switch off the advertising. Unfortunately, the advertising was building the relationship with the viewer. But I cannot do it only with one advertising. I have to have different pictures, different texts. And that actually builds visibility for the buyer. Eventually this person will decide, okay, I will click. Sometimes he will click twice or 3 times on my different kinds of advertisements until he really decides or she desires to go and book an appointment, to go and buy a product or order a service. That's the thing. When we don't know what we're going to get, who we are buying from, we are less inclined to go and make a decision to buy. If we have a relationship between us, the seller, and the buyer, it is much easier. Then you can focus on the key thing, delivering value, and then closing the client and getting the deal delivered. Having a happy client, wowing him and getting to buy again. So, funnels are not always the cause of a system failing. It's often how people set them up, how people maintain them, how people act with the systems. Sometimes people feed data in. They do it the wrong way. They mess it up, or they delete systems. Sometimes funnels are built of several campaigns inside, and people go and delete a campaign. Then they say they didn't do it, it was somebody else, or it was somebody else. Well, certain things you cannot just delete by itself. And that's why if you are willing to put the effort to create a funnel, to invest the money in the systems, because these good systems, they cost you money. But the most important thing is actually the money you're spending on the advertisement itself. If you have no budget to invest in an advertisement, how do you expect to really grow your business? You, of course, start small, then grow, and then grow. Then you diversify. But if you don't invest the necessary budget, you can't even start growing because it takes too long. By that time you've burned and you have no cash anymore and you cannot really proceed. That's why it's so important to have a strategy when you're doing your advertisements, your funnels. You have to have a realistic expectation. How much am I going to spend on a Facebook advertising or Google? I used to on average spend, for instance, on Google 3,000 to 5,000 euros. That's about in dollars at most up to $6,000, $8,000 I used to spend every month on advertising. And that was just Google. In Facebook, you can do the same thing. You should ideally spend 3,000 or more dollars. Of course, at the stage where your pre-testing has been completed. So at the beginning you test with small values or something every day, and you increase the things as you go, add elements, and then build and build. But you're not willing to spend the necessary amount that is necessary in order to get the whole thing rolling. Your testing will die faster than you can even get running. Because with $5 a day, you cannot really generate in today's economy, and especially in Facebook today, a really profitable thing. Because you need grower higher pricing tags in order to get people to move and be profitable. Because as well, Facebook advertising is becoming more expensive. More people are going into Facebook, so the limited space that is available costs more money. And that means as well, you need to spend more per click. And if you don't have the necessary budget for the advertising, and if your product doesn't give you enough profitability inside, then how do you want to pay for future advertising and have a profitable business? Advertising can only really work when you've got the right budget. And that really doesn't have to do with anything with branding or visibility or copy text and so on. If there's no money there, you cannot buy the petrol for your engine. That's the thing. Even if you own a car, if you have no money, you cannot buy a petrol. You cannot move the car. That's the thing. First get the money, get the petrol, and then fill the car and get it running. Get the business running. That's the best way to get it. And if you don't have at the beginning the money to invest in Facebook advertising, then go the classic way and do sales, client acquisition through the classic way without using Facebook advertising or even Google advertising. You have to first get your budget. Then you can start selling, you can start advertising. You already have maybe some client testimonials and you can use them as well on your landing pages. That makes it much easier as well even to close those people who you don't know, who don't know you, and who are seeing the text, seeing the testimonials, seeing the videos and so on. They're much willing, definitely much more willing to buy from you, even if it's online. The thing is, the higher price tag, the more you have to invest before so that they are willing to sign up. The profitability is then much higher at the same time, which is good in today's economy. So focus on creating value, focus on increasing the price tag and having the ability to sell the products and services to the right buyer. If you sell it to the wrong buyer, you will not have profitability, you won't have client lifetime, and the long run is not what you want. That's why focus on lifetime that you build through quality, through intensity, and having the right client avatar. Marketing works when it is focused on the right kind of client, when it is built on a budget that can sustain the necessary growth you need. Because at the beginning you have to speed up your growth. You have to put energy in it. And if you don't put money, energy, time into starting the business, into starting the product to be sold, how do you expect to do profitability? You cannot be profitable, you cannot get the big amount of sales that you really need. Reality is businesses burn money faster than they can earn it if they have not got the right funnel, if they're not attracting the right clients in the right amount. They are burning too much money. So get your funnel running, get your sales running, be able to close your clients, and even if it's selling them small products, small service values, you have to be able to close them. And even if you're closing them on the phone, closing in person, on Zoom or the Skype or any other kind of services, you have to be able to close them. But that only works if you are really convinced of your product, convinced of your service. Then as well, even your online marketing becomes so powerful because your message, what you convey, is much more attractive than as if you're doing something you're not really passionate about, you're bored, it's not interesting, it's not what you want. So love what you do it properly, use the right budget, the right strategy, and get it done. But use your brain for this. That is the most important thing. Without thinking about things, without mind feeding, you're just running around like a headless chicken. Don't do that. Increase the profitability of business by doing it the right way. See you soon.